I've come back here. Hey folks, Yuto Crazy here with a lovely video of things. It's essentially, I haven't done any videos in a long time, mainly because I sort of fell out of card games for a little bit. So I didn't do any vids like that, and didn't really see anything else to do. But now I'm back and I have a lot of questions that people have asked me, and I'm going to answer them for everybody to know. So, first question from Andy is, if money were no issue, what would your top 3 cosplays be, and why? Well, number one, first main cosplay I've always wanted to do, and it's still something I really want to do one day, and hopefully I'll be able to eventually, is Yubel from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Yubel is one of my favourite anime characters that exists, you know? Of all anime, Yubel is one of my favourite characters, and the intricacy in her design, and the fact that she's a purple, city-eyed, winged demon from another dimension. Excuse me while I scratch my nose, it is itchy. Yay! Yeah, it makes it for quite an interesting costume to do. I am just talking about stage 1 Yubel. I'm not going to manage to cosplay Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare, that would just be ridiculous. So, yeah. I don't think I'll be doing Ultimate Nightmare, but Yubel, the character herself. Another costume I really want to do is a really good quality Power Ranger outfit, possibly either the Green Ranger, which is, you know, a lot of people's favourite, or the Rearranger from Gosei Sentai Dairanger, which is one of my favourites. It's one of my favourites of Power Ranger suits, and it's a costume you don't see very often because obviously the Dairanger suits didn't get adapted into season 2 of Mighty Morphin, while their Zords did, and we only saw the Dairanger suits in Super Mega Force, which, you know, not so many people are a fan of that, and there was a bit of an outcry about why are you using these suits that were never used, how do you explain them? But obviously Super Mega Force is the same series in which Gosei explained to Jacob what his changing colour is. There's a simple explanation for that, and then didn't give one. Lovely. Number 3, my last one, I don't know. I mean, if money with no object and what costume, possibly again it would just improve the quality of a costume I'd already want to do. Just Soundwave for the Transformers, the original Transformers, because Soundwave's my favourite character and of Transformers, and I'd want to do that, and I'd also want to like have a voice filter running through it, where whenever I spoke, it sounded exactly like he does, and yeah, it would either be that or a Doctor Who Cyberman. Really, I can't really choose between. If it was going to be a Cyberman, it would be one of the ones from the later part of the 1960s, as they appeared in the Moon Base and Tomb of the Cybermen. They're my favourite of all different Cybermen, just from the voice that they had. If you don't know, then go and check it out. Sure, you can find a video on YouTube somewhere of what Cyberman sounded like in those 2 seasons. Yeah. Okay, so that's that question over and done with, and yeah, not much else to say on that one. Next question is weird because I haven't played World of Warcraft in a very long time, so I don't really know how to answer this one next. But if you could live anywhere in Azeroth, where would it be and why? Again, I don't know. I haven't played WoW in such a long time. Last time I played was just after Mists of Pandaria came out, so that sums up that. How well I know modern World of Warcraft. So I can't really give much of an answer. From what I know, I would probably want to live in like Stormwind or something, because it's a civilization, with and that. So yeah, that's about as good as I'm gonna get on that one, I'm afraid. Um, and he lowered the tone with the next one because he's done a Shag, Marry, Kill. And this is a Power Rangers related one, but it's the villains, and it's Rita Repulsor, Divatox, and Nadira. And he's admitted that he deliberately left out Astronomer because he knows I'm a fan of Astronomer. But yeah, now this one would be Shag, Marry, Kill. So I'll go Nadira for that, yeah, because I like Nadira. Especially when you see her at the end of Reinforcements in the future, when her and Ransik are sort of dressed in normal clothes for a change, and obviously not Divatox, Nadira, you see her more in normal clothes anyway because she takes on disguises and all that jazz. Marry, then I'd say probably marry Divatox, but not purely because that would just be the ultimate riot. It would be hilarious to be married to her, I think. Partly because I just get to kick Elgar around because, being his new uncle, and, if a 12-year-old can kick Elgar's ass, I'm sure I can just fuck off Elgar. Don't like Elgar at all. But yeah, when it comes to kill, I don't really want to kill Rita at all, really. But, the other ones I had, like, valid reasons for, and yeah, Rita just sort of fell into the wayside of taking the last slot. So I'll just say befriend Rita instead. I don't know. I don't want to kill. If Zordon's energy wave couldn't kill her, what chance do I stand of just doing it on my own? So yeah, there's that one. Now, would you rather have a lifetime supply of your favourite food or a lifetime supply of your favourite drink? Well, lifetime supply of favourite food, because however the question would state that I have none of the other, so if I could have a lifetime supply of food, do I not have any liquid at all, and vice versa? If I can have a lifetime supply of my favourite drink, do I just not have any video at all? Not any video at all? What? If let's say my favourite drink, do I just not have any food at all? But yeah, it really depends on the confines of how else I'm forced to live. If I have to have my favourite of one thing at the cost of having none of the other, It's like asking Joe if he'd give up sex or food. Now, this next question really, really you just have to wing this one, and you really have to go and listen to episode 4 of season 0 of Vanilla and Peas to understand why I have been asked this question. And it is, have you ever taken your bed with you on holiday? No, I haven't. I'm answering honestly, I have not ever taken my bed with me on holiday. But yeah, if you want to understand that, I'm not going to explain it here because I'm going to make case go and listen to Vanilla and Peas. I'll put a direct link to the episode there. Ding. Yeah. Which song lyric has the most meaning in your life and why? I walk beside you. The whole chorus to that. I walk beside you wherever you are, whatever it takes, no matter how far. To all that may come and all that may go, I walk beside you. That is my entire that's the most meaningful to me because it's true to me. That's how I am with people, you know. Just, you know, if I've befriended you, that's what's gonna happen, you know. I'm gonna be friends with you from through the good, the bad, the, you know, everything. Um, McDonald's or Burger King. The funny thing is, I've worked for both. I haven't been to McDonald's in a long time actually, but I've been to Burger King quite a few times recently. Mainly because when I was staying at a hotel in Glasgow, recently there was a Burger King pretty much right across the road. So it was a case of go out across the road, there we go, Burger King, hi. Um, you know, I don't really have an opinion. I mean, they're both, you know, I handle them both, but I think I can get a Royale with cheese from Burger King, you know, from Burger King, and that's great. And I've got the Burger King app on here, which, you know, sort of helps. So, if money were no issue, what would be the first thing you would buy? Honestly, lately on our Google Hangouts every night, us regular on the Hangouts would be looking at houses where we'd all just live together in one harmonious mess of nonsense. And, you know, if I'll answer this question a different way, right? If I had won the £159 million Euro Million jackpot the other week, I probably would have bought one of those, and, you know, we'd all just live in some utter mess of nerdom. It might mean the end of Hangouts, but you don't need we wouldn't need those Hangouts because we'd all be living together, and it'd be great. It'd be great fun. I've been asked what my least favourite series of Power Rangers is. I'm not going to answer that on here because myself and Andy are going to discuss this on Vanilla and Peas when we record this Thursday. What is this Thursday? 20th, I think? Yeah, 20th of November we'll be recording Vanilla and Peas. And we're going to go through that on there, so I'm going to leave that question open up. Then he asks, what's your favourite series of Power Rangers that isn't Time Force, because we all know Time Force is the best. He's right. Time Force is my favourite. For a number of reasons. But he's asked me my favourite that's not Time Force, but I'm going to come back to Time Force and explain why it's my favourite. But other than that, the favourite of the ones I've seen, because I haven't seen every season, and so I can't really base an opinion on seasons I've not seen enough of, but seasons I've seen quite a lot of are out of those, my favourite would have to be either In Space, which I've seen all of now, or SPD, which I've seen roughly half of. I really like both of those, so I'm gonna push and say In Space because I have seen all of that, and SPD obviously does have, for the fact that I've only seen half of it, SPD could go down an unfortunate route, which I doubt will happen because I know that there's a lot of good still to come in the season from having watched Linkara's history of Power Rangers videos and that, but based on the fact that I know I've watched it and there are some amazing characters that I love some characters in Space, including Astronema and Ecliptor, which again ties directly into the I love villains thing of everything ever. My phone's gone locked itself again, so I can't get back to my pictures. But yeah, going back to the Time Force thing. Time Force is definitely my favourite season, and it's not just because Jen is hot. It's not just because of that. Rancic is a fantastic, probably one of the best villains to be in the entire Power Rangers franchise ever. Um, um, he's got an amazing backstory. He is strong enough. The Rangers never actually beat him. He turns himself in because he realizes that he's almost losing out on something that he doesn't want to lose out on, because he loves his daughter. He's doing bad things, but he's motivated by something. He has a motivation for doing what he's doing. He's acting that way because people have acted negatively towards him, and it's a revenge tale for Rancic. As proven as when the reason he was prejudiced against, as in being a mutant, as soon as that's taken from him, as soon as he's no longer a mutant and reinforcements from the future, he's fully good. In fact, he's probably fully good before that. As soon as he turns himself in, as soon as he shows up and reinforces the future, he's helping the Rangers. But I really need to shave. I'm sorry. I keep scratching my neck. I've got that level of facial stubble that just irritates me. I really need to go shave before I go to work tomorrow. But yeah, welcome back to Power Rangers Time Force. As well as that, it's just because it's the perfect adaptation of Mirai Sentai Time Ranger. It's so very close to the original series that it was adapted from. So it's so much so to the fact that the Quantum Ranger Eric Myers bears so much of a resemblance physically, outside of costume, to, I can't remember the character's name, Naoto something, who was Timefire, who was Quantum Ranger in Time Ranger. They bear so much of a likeness that when they use Time Ranger footage for the first ever morph, you can't really tell, because from in the dim light they actually look really similar. But even just story wise, from start to finish, it's very very similar to Mirai Sentai Time Ranger, and that's my favorite series. Oh, excuse me. Why have you gone off? Sorry, that was weird. My TV just decided to spaz out. Next up, I've had a question sent to me by my friend Jess, who I don't think realises that I'm doing this video. I think she sent me an ask just to answer. But it simply reads, favourite memory? Well, my favourite memory was, this is the way it's asked, favourite memory? I'm gonna go with mine. I'm gonna go with my memory. Definitely of everyone's memories, mine is pretty much my favourite. Sorry, I'm being facetious. I should not do that. But yeah, favorite memory of mine, like, so many things. You know, I was on a bit of a nostalgia trip with a friend Amber last night about some things that have happened with us in the past. You know, there's not just one thing that really springs to mind. I've had so many cool things happen over time that, you know, it's hard to just pick the one memory out. But the one thing that strikes me out the most vivid right now is at Alcon 2009, when myself and a few friends had been out into Leicester City Centre, and we got back to the convention ground, and Claire was already slightly in talks, and yeah, she ran up to me, hugged me, wondered where I'd been, and then started trying to walk in a straight line. It was quite amusing, but really that just cements what my friendship with Claire is like, really. She is my best friend after all, and that's just that. A couple of things to answer that aren't on my Ask FM because I got asked them in other places. So, if I can just go, here's Lashonda asked me, if you could be any animal, which would you be and why? And Deanna, I want to be a giraffe because I love giraffes. Giraffes are cool. They're my favourite thing, animal-wise. Because, yeah. And do you ever feel like a turtle with a bag on your back? What? I can't say I've ever given it much thought, but what I really want to get now is I want to get a backpack that looks like the shell of a Ninja Turtle, because that would be kind of cool. And then also her special question is, do you think a lettuce is just a massive, massive Brussels sprout? I have the weirdest friends. I really do. Oh man. I don't know. I can't have ever thought again. It's not something I've ever thought about. If it's a giant sprout or not. You know. I think the thing is lettuce isn't lettuce like so much water anyway that it's meh. I said I wouldn't go putting bits of Brussels sprout in a tiny burger though. Hate Brussels sprouts. They're the worst. And then the last question I got asked was what my favourite season of Yu-Gi-Oh is. If you consider that there's 5 seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh, there's obviously there's Duel Monsters, GX, 5Ds, Zeal, and Arc 5. Now, having not seen enough of Zeal to make a reference to determine, because I've only seen the first bit of it, and now I'm actually going to go with Arc 5 for the specific season of, while I loved all the seasons, and I especially love GX after the point where, you know, it starts getting a bit serious, and you know, in season 3 where it gets all dark and you help debuts. I'm going to go with Arc 5 purely because I have never ever been as engaged with a season of Yu-Gi-Oh! And been, you know, considering all the different plot points and really engross myself in a season of Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as I currently do with Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, to the point where I'm even noticing things like Yuzu's bracelets resembling the pattern of overlay units on the Nixie's monster, and, you know, things like, why is Yugo appearing in the new opening sequence when you've only seen him very, very, very briefly in Yuto's flashback in episode 15, I think it is. So yeah, for that reason I'm going to go with Arc 5, just because of how much how much it holds my interest. And I mean, it's evidenced by the fact that that there's not really been any anime lately that I've been like this with, where I eagerly wait every single week for the sub of it so that I can watch the episode. Even with Vanguard, it was just like, oh, it's Sunday, there's an episode, oh, might as well download and watch that. Nowadays, every week, I'm like, come on, give me my sub, I want to watch it. But yeah, that's that. You know, if you got, so, and that's really all the questions I've been asked for this vid. If you want to know anything else, my Ask FM is there. And I will answer anything else on there that you want to know. Hope you've enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about me, and I'll be back with more videos very, very soon. I apologise for the silence lately, but yeah, things have been going a bit differently for me lately, and that's all really. But I'll see you later. Peace out, guys. Later.